Welcome to the official grand open and ribbon cutting of the South Shore section of the Oshkosh Riverwalk. While we are known as Wisconsin's event city, Oshkosh has an abundance of parks and recreational activities for citizens and visitors alike. Our city now, with this, has over 431 acres of parks, and we are blessed with over 165,000 acres of water between Winnebago, Butamore, Poygan, the Fox, and the Wolf Rivers. No other community in the state can boast that kind of recreational opportunities. The Oshkosh Riverwalk along the Fox provides just one more way for our citizens to enjoy the natural beauty of our community. The vision for the Riverwalk goes back 4 decades, and it became a reality in the last 5 years, a short time, and look what we've accomplished in only 5 years along the stretch of the Fox River. Thank you. And since I'm sort of the official historian of the City Council, because of my age, stop it. Believe it or not, the usage of the Fox River, one of the few rivers in the world that flows north, predates the lumber industry, which once lined its shores. It was first used by Native Americans and also French missionaries and explorers as a means of transportation to the Mississippi River going back to the 1500s. Our history predates a lot of that on the East Coast. Today we are taking advantage of the phenomenal asset for all of us to enjoy. We're here today to also celebrate the opening of the Boatworks and Congress William A. Steiger Park sections of the Riverwalk. This portion of the Riverwalk is particularly special in that it provides a view of the river you won't find anywhere else. It is a great starting and stopping point for walks and bike rides with an easy access restroom and picnic area. The kayak and boat launch behind me provides a safe place for people to launch of all abilities, and it is a quiet place to start your adventure on the Fox River. We are proud of the collaborative efforts and community support to make this dream come true. I encourage you to get out and enjoy the entire Riverwalk along the shores of our historic Fox River. And stay tuned, there's more to come. Please take a look at the plans we have on display for the Morgan District, I believe on the west side of the building, which is under construction now. I know you'll be very, very impressed what the city is doing. The Oshkosh Riverwalk is making our world-class city a destination. It's just one of the many reasons we are a great place to live, work, play, and learn. Thank you again for joining us this afternoon. It is now my pleasure to introduce Mary Rose Tevis with the DNR.
Good afternoon, everyone. Events like this are precious to me because, as you might imagine, I'm in Madison, I'm in an office, I'm behind a desk. I get to get out and see the great work that communities are doing along with the funds that we have. So my name is Mary Rose Tevis. I'm Bureau Director. We do grants and loans. This is my motto. So we have 40 grant programs and 3 loan programs in my bureau, and we do about $380 million worth of business a year. The loans are the heavy side of the workload. The grants, we provide small amounts of money, and they make fabulous projects like this possible. I want to introduce to you 2 of our grant staff that have come with me from the Green Bay office. I have Chris Halber, raise your hand, Chris, and Bobby Weinbar. They work with all the communities in the region to get projects like this done. So it's amazing to me. We awarded this grant in 2013. Just over $944,000. It's amazing what you've been able to accomplish in just 3 years. So our funds were a combination of federal funds from the Rec Trails program as well as the Land and Water Conservation Grant Program. And we also married that to stewardship money. This is state stewardship money. And the result is the bridge span and the approaches, the restroom, the parking lot, lighting, and the picnic tables. We're thrilled to be able to contribute that to this project, a project that gives the river back to the people who live here, bringing you closer to it and to enjoy it. Thank you so much, Mayor Cummings, and to your staff for organizing this and making it possible for us to come to this ribbon cutting. Thank you. Oh, I almost forgot. Next, I'm to introduce State Representative Gordon Hines. Where is he?
Well, good afternoon. As a native of Oshkosh, it's days like this that are really exciting. When I grew up here, there was a foundry across the river, a beat-up old bridge, and the campus hadn't developed anywhere near to what it is today. And piece by piece, we're really seeing Oshkosh become the community that I think we've had a vision for, and promoting recreation and bringing people back down to the river. In my time in office, I've been fortunate. I was at a ribbon cutting when the state rededicated the bridge, and Governor Doyle came up here, and I can see that. When we dedicated the Alumni Center at UW Oshkosh, and the first new academic building in 40 years in Sage Hall. As a member of the Joint Finance Committee, we had a proposal last year that would have frozen some of the stewardship money until 2028. But it was projects like this and from around the state that kind of helped change our minds, well, not mine, but a lot of others, to make sure that we continued to put enough funding in the program to be able to leverage those dollars so that communities like Oshkosh can move projects like this forward in the future and leverage those with resources from the Community Foundation as well. This move would have affected the city of Oshkosh and the development of the Riverwalk, for which we are here today. The stewardship program, as my DNR friends brought up, promotes conservation of land for the public's enjoyment, like the protection of wildlife habitat and the development of recreational facilities, which is a great example, which is this Riverwalk. The program is used across the state to purchase, protect, and develop natural resources for Wisconsin's $39 billion tourism, forestry, hunting, and fishing industry for generations to come. Oshkosh and its surrounding communities are already a great place to live, work, and raise a family, as we heard from Mayor Cummings. The presence of the Riverwalk only helps spur development along the river and adds improved quality of life, value, and demand to the area. The idea of a Riverwalk in Oshkosh has been more than 40 years in the making. And as the city works on continuing the south shore of the Riverwalk, I look forward to the increased versatility the Riverwalk will have in Oshkosh, further adding to its identity as Event City. And on that note, I will introduce my good friend, Wendy Hillsberg from the Oshkosh Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Did you notice when Gordon speaks there was thunder? Okay. I represent tourism in Oshkosh, and a big part of our job is selling and marketing Oshkosh as a destination. It's also really exciting to sell and market Oshkosh to your own people. A lot of people haven't been down here to explore this, and I love to start out at the amphitheater and walk, cut across the bridge and come across here. It's beautiful, and like Gordon said, I grew up here. And this was not a used waterway at all when we grew up here. So how proud we are to see how much this has progressed. And I saw Darlene earlier. Remember the day we walked this in our high heels, 95 degrees. And I'm like, are we done yet? And we got all the way to here. It's just beautiful. I want to give a little plug for tourism. This is Oshkosh's second busiest week of the year for tourism. Tonight opens up Waterfest. We have Styx as a headliner. We had people in our office all day today. Somebody as far as Chicago came here just to see our amphitheater tonight. So thousands of people will be downtown. And then, of course, our signature event, Country USA. 170,000 people will be here this weekend for tourism. And it's a proud moment. On behalf of the Bureau, oh, very cool. Be nice to the tourists in the roundabouts. Just wave, okay? The Convention and Visitors Bureau donated money to this as we saw that this was another avenue of tourism. By partnering with the Fox Wisconsin Heritage Parkway, all of our waterways will connect here, and these locations and these kayak locations like this will be throughout the state. So this is a whole nother tourism avenue where we can actually kayak, the leisure boater, the recreational boater can actually kayak through all of the waterways. It's just amazing. It is marketed through the state. We will help market it, and it's just another avenue of tourism that I'm really proud of. And again, the shelter, the restrooms, the walkway, tourism is happening in Oshkosh, and I really thank the city, the DNR, and the foundation for their grants, because this is another great avenue. Very, very proud. And now I get to introduce my friend Ray Maurer, Director of the Parks.
Thanks for coming out this afternoon. I wanted to just make note of the many partnerships for not only this section of the Riverwalk, but throughout the entire sections of the Riverwalk that have been developed. We work closely with the Oshkosh Boat Club. There's quite a few members here. If you can just raise your hand. The Boat Club has donated money for this kayak canoe launch. They've donated funds for other boat tie-up and dock facility improvements along the Riverwalk. The Community Foundation obviously supported this project as well as some of the other projects. Bemis Foundation did contribute funding towards this project, and as Wendy stated, the Visitors and Convention Bureau also supported this. So it's not city, it's all partners throughout the community that really make this a great city and a lot of these amenities that come to life. I wanted to also thank Frankie for coming out and sharing her wonderful music with us tonight, so thank you and appreciate hearing more. I'm going to introduce Peggy Jessen from the Boat Club, and Peggy, her husband passed away a few years back, and the Boat Club had contacted me saying that they wanted to do something on the Riverwalk for boaters, and they did donate some money in memory of Peggy's husband, and there was a plaque that we installed down on the boat launch in memory of Ken. So I wanted to have Peggy come forward and have say a few words.
Thank you very much. This is a really meaningful day for my daughter, Beth, right there. As Ray noted, the plaque there is in memorial of my husband, Ken Jessen. He died in 2012, and we started to talk about what organizations that he was part of in his life and how he could donate some of the money that we received as memorials to these causes that he loved. When we learned during an Oshkosh Boat Club meeting that the city wanted to install a canoe and kayak launch on the south shore of this Fox Riverwalk, we thought it was the perfect project to contribute his memorial money to. While this is a really large investment and our contribution was quite small in relation, we are so glad that our donation could help. Ken was the Commodore of the Boat Club in 2006 and a member of the club for 25 years. Our family has enjoyed this waterway for all of those years, and my daughter and I continue to do so. Ken would be very proud to know that this new ramp grants accessibility to water lovers that previously had no easy way to launch their watercraft. Beth and I would like to thank the Oshkosh Parks Director, Ray Maurer, for working really closely with the Boat Club, especially Dick Casey and Paul Mortensen, who just took this on when I said I want to give money, but I just was not in the mood to try to figure out how. I was just grieving, and I knew I wanted to do something, but I did not have the wherewithal to figure out what, and those two guys made it happen, so thank you very much. Ken and other past OBC Commodores and our current Commodore, Tom Sitter, want the waterways in our area to be safe and enjoyable to all of us, and we're pleased that this location promotes the Boat Club values. Thank you to the City and Parks Department for making this stretch of the unique waterway and for letting Beth and I make Ken Jessen a part of this today. Thank you.
Thank you, Peggy. I'm Amy Putzer, the Director of Programs with the Oshkosh Area Community Foundation, and I am just thrilled to be part of this celebration of the grand opening of the Boatworks Riverwalk. On behalf of the foundation, I'd like to extend our gratitude to the many players that have made this project possible. Mayor Cummings, Mark Roloff, countless city staff members, the Fox Wisconsin Heritage Parkway, the DNR, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and countless others. I don't want to I could use my whole 5 minutes just going through the partners. The Riverwalk is just a wonderful asset for this community that shines the light on the natural resources that are right outside of our back door. This particular segment of the Riverwalk happens to be right outside of the foundation's back door. We're 2 buildings over, and I have the pleasure of looking out my office window and seeing many of our residents out walking, biking, and more recently, out paddling. The Community Foundation's mission is to improve the quality of life and capacity for excellence in our communities. One of the ways we do this is through stewardship, by honoring the wishes of our donors. It's thanks to a bequest from the estate of Julia Peterson that the Fox River in Oshkosh can now boast this ADA-compliant boat and canoe launch behind me, improving access to the river for all residents and visitors. I'd like to just take a couple minutes to tell you about Julia Peterson. Julia was born in 1908 to Julius and Marie Dew. She graduated from the UW-Madison School of Nursing. She, her husband Ralph, and their 2 adopted daughters made their home in Berlin and later in Oshkosh. If you were around in earlier times, you might have found Julia volunteering at the Red Cross. The couple was also supporters of the YMCA and Evergreen Retirement Community. After Julia passed away in 2006, a large part of her estate was gifted to the Community Foundation. Through it, several funds were established. One, a dental fund to help Oshkosh children in need, another fund to support the Salvation Army here in Oshkosh, and then the rest of her bequest created the Julia and Ralph Peterson Fund. This would be an unrestricted fund and the primary source of funding for the launch behind me. Julia and Ralph recognize that community needs and priorities change over time. So they trusted the Community Foundation to use its judgment in distributing money from their fund in a way that reflected these changing needs. It's thanks to people like Julia and Ralph Peterson who make these special unrestricted gifts that the foundation is blessed to be able to support so many of the great projects that happen in Oshkosh. Projects like the revitalized convention center, a rejuvenated Grand Opera House, the renovated downtown storefront facades, as well as the recently revitalized downtown hotel. Not only did we provide support for the canoe and kayak, I don't know why I'm having a hard time with that word today, launch behind me, but we're also proud to have supported the historical sign that you'll find at the entrance to the pier, as well as a bench along the Riverwalk. We are so proud to have helped with the additions to the community's Riverwalk and sincerely thank all of the generous donors and visionary community partners who make projects like this one possible. We so look forward to continuing to work together towards an even better future. Thank you. And with that, I will pass it over to City Manager Mark Roloff.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am so happy, first of all, for the person who picked this date for the event as opposed to yesterday, because it would have been a lot different atmosphere and people would have been running for cover. And even though it's a little cloudy, it still gives us a wonderful backdrop. Amy did a wonderful job of thanking so many people. And of course, the Community Foundation does such a great leadership job in terms of harnessing the funding and the dedicated people in our community that want to give. But it's not just one person. It is our whole community that does this. And as the mayor mentioned, it starts with a vision. And a couple of years ago, we recognized some folks who are into their 90s. One of which is Lurton Blassingame, who was a member of our Plan Commission for a number of years. They're the ones who created the vision for this Riverwalk many, many years ago. And so for those of you, a lot of young people are here today, the vision that you have for this community can get carried out. So dream, think big, because this is the type of thing that you can dream about and actually accomplish. So keep that in mind as you move on. Gordon Hintz, Representative Hintz, mentioned when we did the bridge opening for the Wisconsin Avenue Bridge, I had only been here a couple months, and one of the things that people kept talking about was getting the Riverwalk done. It's been on the books for decades. When are we going to get it done? And so many people said it to me, and it was like, it's about time we get this done. And as I gave a little speech at the bridge opening, and quite honestly, I mean, I barely knew where things were in Oshkosh. I'd only been here a couple months, but I talked about the vision of carrying through the Riverwalk and one day seeing it complete. And from that vantage point that I was at 8 years ago, we got it. We're not there completely, but we've got the vision is so much in place. And because of everybody here, whether it's funding from the DNR, and thank you for being here. We love your money, by the way, and we love to have you come for it. But you see, it wasn't just your money. It was the boat club and the foundation and the council. I have to give credit to my council members. They're my bosses. They did an outstanding job, by the way. And some of our former council members are here, former Mayor Towers, Burke Towers here. There's so many people who are responsible for making this happen. Keep dreaming big. Now a little housekeeping item. Everybody asked, is there a map of the Riverwalk? Don't leave without taking one of the maps of the Riverwalk in the back. Whatever's left, Wendy gets to bring over to the convention. She already took them. All right. Well, then you got to beg Wendy for them. But they also have them available online, so I encourage you to look at under our hot topics on the webpage to get that, and encourage people to look at this. This is a little bit of a hidden gem, but it was designed with families in mind. That's why we have the shelter and the restrooms. And Tom Belcher will give you a kayak lesson if you want one. Tom's a member of our redevelopment authority, and he brought his kayak today. And this is going to attract so many people, families, visitors, and our own community. We deserve to thank ourselves for all of the work that we've done to carry out this vision. So enjoy the day. Congratulate yourselves. Walk up on the bridge, because nobody even mentioned that we have that portion of the old railroad bridge that has 1899. And Steve, like that's because that's before he was born. And Steve can't say too much. Yeah, just a few years. But I want to thank you for coming today. Please help our staff, the council, and everybody else who has been part of this, the DNR, our local boat clubs, Convention and Visitors Bureau, Foundation, and everybody who I didn't mention. You're all part of carrying this forward to completion. On the map, there's a little bit of yellow piece that says how much has left to be done. There's not much left. We're almost there. So thank you for everybody for making this happen. And now we get to do the fun part, because we have ribbon. So all of our dignitaries who are here, DNR folks, folks who have been involved in this project in one way or the other. I hope to have at least one person left to take a picture, but everybody else, come on up. This is your Riverwalk. This is your kayak launch. Let's be part of it. Mayor Cummings already grabbed it. I'll grab the other end. And please join us for ribbon cutting.